Hi, this is Michelle from minimadesigns.com, and today I'm talking about the art of the redesign. I'll be featuring one of my long-term clients. Her name's Ashley Sargent, and this is the second version of her website that we've worked on together. I'm going to show you the reasoning why we made the changes we did and how we got to this new website. First, a little background. A few years ago, Ashley was working in a studio location and she was teaching around the world. This is what her website that we created in late 2010 looked like. It definitely has a very different aesthetic. It's very dark and it's kind of brooding. And at the time, that was the aesthetic that she connected with, and that attracted the audience that she wanted to connect with. Now with the new website, we've got a very different look and feel, color scheme, as well as photography. All of that blends together to create a very different impact. Now, before you go off redesigning a site, there's a lot of different items that you need to consider. First, has your overall vision changed? Who you were several years ago probably doesn't match who you are today. So your website needs to reflect that. Second, are you trying to attract a new audience? In Ashley's case, she is. One of her biggest audience that she's trying to connect with are high-end athletes. And again, her website needs to reflect that. Now, how are you connecting with your audience? Again, a website that was created 3, 4, 5 years ago probably doesn't have the features that modern websites do in order to connect with today's audience, to meet them where they're at. And have your offerings changed? Again, in Ashley's case, she's not really working at a studio anymore. What she's offering today is very much different than what she was offering 4 years ago. There are also a lot of technical considerations you have to take into account before you redesign your site. Now, Ashley's site was originally created in late 2010. That's over 4 years ago, which is a lifetime in terms of the web. Now we have to think about what devices people are using. 4 years ago, people were pretty much using laptops and desktops. Well, now you're on iPhones and iPads and Androids, and who knows what the next device is going to be. So we have to really take that into consideration. Next, what are our visitors doing on our site? And what behavior do we want to change? Maybe 4 years ago, we just wanted them to view events and maybe get on our contact form. Well, now we want to sign them up for our newsletter and maybe watch videos and connect with us in other ways. So we always need to be evaluating the actions that our visitors are taking on the site and if we need to change that behavior. Next, what are your future plans? A lot of my clients like to build a foundational website and then work in phases. So maybe 6 months from now, you're thinking about doing an online course or some other sort of training that you're going to take online. You have to build a site that can grow with you so that you can evolve and add stuff as you need to, which is a huge reason why I use WordPress for all my websites. I know that I can add stuff if I need to at a later point. I like to future-proof as much as possible, so making as much dynamic in terms of text and imagery so that it's easily modified at a later date. And finally, will you be updating and maintaining the site in-house by yourself? Or do you have a team? Again, considerations that if you're hiring somebody or doing it yourself that you need to take into account. If you're hiring someone, make sure that they document how they're updating your site and how they're making modifications. That way, you're going to feel empowered that you can do it yourself. Going back to Ashley's new site, you can see how we freshened the look up. We used a bright color palette. We're using very strong fonts and imagery throughout the site. It gives it a completely different look and feel. You can tell it's got kind of a sporty vibe, which is what we're going for. And it kind of straddles both masculine and feminine with the color choice and photography. On the homepage, you can see we're also featuring 3 blocks of information that we can share with our visitors so that we can direct them to go down certain pathways. Going up, when I visit some of the services page, you can start to see how we played with imagery and design. Here on the nutrition page, you can see how the colors and imagery all play together. Quick pro tip, if you think and plan for your photo shoot, you can match what you're wearing to your website colors. And you can see how that plays off of each other and starts to really create a cohesive look and feel. One other little tip, you'll notice I added the newsletter opt-in box to the top of the screen. Now, I've created it so it's a widget, so it's going to display on every single page. And the other little trick is I've made this a flexible text box area. That means she'll be able to change the text as she sees fit. One other little design feature I like to add in is just a little bit of personality. You'll see here on the contact page, we've added a scanned image of her signature. Again, it just adds a little touch of personality, and we've also added a little photo of Ashley. Again, rather than just having a plain page, add a little something so that it is inviting and welcoming. As you can see, the new site is brighter, bolder, it reflects her new offerings, it's mobile responsive, which means that it works on a variety of devices, and it meets the needs of Ashley where she's at today in 2014. I hope this case study was helpful for you. For more tips, tricks, tutorials, and information, come visit me at minimadesigns.com.